Hey guys, it's Melanie and I am beyond excited for today's video. We have a full day ahead of us, but it's not a typical day in your life. We are erasing our entire day and all that we have on the agenda is crocheting / knitting. Well, more so this. We are finally whipping out this bad boy. You saw I got this for Christmas and I've been dying to use it, but I didn't want to start without you guys. So we'll be testing it out today together, learning how to use it, but we're also going to be making as many items as we can today. And that's perfect because I want a lot of new knit clothes and I have a lot of ideas for what I want to make. No time to waste. Let's get started on setting this thing up. Okay, so I've cleared my desk off for you guys. This is a little awkward. You can like see yourself. We are going to open her up. I've watched a couple videos on this just to get like the general. Where are my scissors? Still in their pajamas. Just to prove to you guys. First thing, got up and we are knitting. I watched a couple videos on this just to get the general idea of how to use it and how it like works. But I think I'm gonna watch like some more in-depth tutorials while I'm setting it up and stuff anyways, so I didn't find a point in overstudying, I suppose. But basically this thing should be able to cut down knitting time to a matter of minutes even. I don't know how. Actually I do know how. I don't know why I said that. Oh my gosh, she opened it upside down. It comes with some yarn. That's so sweet. Oh my god, I swear if I just broke it, I will lose it right now. Okay, so everything it came with. Instructions. Thank goodness there are pictures on here. Are you guys instruction people? Because I'm not an instruction person, but I feel like I should probably read this. Screw them in. Oh! Unless you're building this with me, this is probably not very interesting and you can very much skip a later scene where I actually start using it. And then I think the last thing we have to do is add this on. You have a little switch down here that says if you're doing a panel or a tube, so you switch that. And then you have this little hook right here, which is where the main yarn goes. You have this, which is what holds the yarn and it kind of holds the tension. And then you also have this over here that counts how many rows you've done. Okay guys, this is the moment. We are going to try to make our very first item ever with this machine and our first item of today, hopefully of many. I have no idea how to gauge like how many I'll be able to make today, but maybe after this first item I can make a guess. What I'm gonna try to make is this scarf. I knitted this, like hand knitted this in the beginning of break and it took about 5 days. Of course I wasn't knitting the same amount every day, and I know you get faster at knitting and I'm more of a crocheter than a knitter. Partially why I got this machine. That's why I want to put this machine especially to the test to see how it compares to my hand knit scarf. So this is what it looks like. I'm going to try to make it the same length or however like long this yarn can last, because I don't know how much more I have of this, but it's kind of like mohair-ish. I don't really know, like vibes looking, but every time I wear this my mom like compliments it, so I figured I'd make her a matching scarf with my machine while I learn how to use it. So let's get started. I watched my little tutorial and we're gonna try to replicate it. You're gonna start off with just getting the end of your yarn. For this scarf that I'm making, it will be a panel, so make sure switch this little thing up to P. And then I've also heard that the row counter doesn't really work as well on panel, which is fine because I think I will probably just do it by length or however long this yarn will last. So I'm finding the white hook. This doesn't really matter, but I think it just helps you like keep track of where, okay, I guess it does matter. It helps you keep track of where the start is. So guys, why am I nervous? You're gonna start off by taking your yarn, putting it through the white hook and then leaving a pretty good length. And then as we start to, maybe this isn't the best yarn, it's kind of like staticky, but we're gonna start to wind it and then just go back and forth between the different hooks. So behind, in front, behind, in front, for however long you want it to be. I think I'm gonna keep it here. And then once you get here, you pull it through your little front thing and put it through here, which is the tension like holder. And then I suppose we just start going back and forth. Low-key, I feel like you have to pay attention a little bit more than I expected. expected, but maybe that's just because this is my first one. I'm sure you get a lot quicker as you go too. Okay, minor update. This is what it looks like right now. I think I've actually been humbled a little bit because this is kind of harder than I thought it would be. Okay, this is just a major hole. The center looks fine. I also did something here, like, I don't know, I messed up. I think I'm just gonna undo it and then start over again since this is just practice. I actually really underestimated this, I think, because I thought I'd be able to whip out a scarf in literally 15 minutes. So this is what our first practice piece looked like. Definitely a lot of holes. I think I'm getting the hang of it, but I can't let myself go too quick because then I'll just get ahead of myself. I'm making a very skinny scarf. Okay, one thing that you do want to remember when you're making specifically panels, this is the white hook, but the actual knitting doesn't start until 2 hooks over. The same way, when you are winding, you want to wind all the way to 2 extra hooks over. If I'm winding and it starts to go around, it's not actually hooking these. It's based off of this hook. So you have to go 2 past for it to hook onto this one, which is kind of confusing unless you actually have one of these machines, or I guess if you watch this enough. So I'm not going to stop here. I'm going to go over 2 more, and you should just keep an eye on this. The yarn should be covering there. So once it covers there, then I go back because it's actually hooked where it's supposed to be. And this is what we have to do to make sure that we have a nice edge on the side. Maybe you can see better here in the reflection. We're doing a lot better this time. It's gotten longer, but I'm gonna head out to go get my morning coffee, but I'm also gonna go pick out and choose yarn, which is always so very geeky, but very, very exciting for me. I always look forward to it. And I want to find some fun rainbow yarn because I want to make those cool like sweaters. Real quick, this is the outfit today as we go out. It's very comfy and simple. The sweater was actually from Forever 21, and I think I've had it since like middle school or high school. I think this is actually the first time I've worn it, and I like almost got rid of it so many times, but I'm glad I didn't. Like, it's cute, right? Probably gonna wear my Uggs yet again. I've been wearing them every single day. I've also been obsessed with this tote bag from Notion. It's so nice because it has a pocket inside, so I put like everything in the pocket and barely anything down here except for my dried mangoes and pepper spray. Apparently now we're ready to go. Hi there. Can I do 1 iced latte with lavender? Guys, I'm back. I got all of the yarn in the world that I need. I actually have no gauge of how much I'll be using, but I bought 3. I am so excited to use this. It's like a muted rainbow. Even the lady was like, this yarn's so cute, and I was like, I know. I've been just working on my scarf. I think having like a practice piece, preferably like something small, like you could just do a square, you know? Scarf is a great one because it's just like a long rectangle. I think is super helpful because I thought this was gonna be a lot easier than it is. And see, it's been getting longer, and I feel like you can also tell the edges get a lot more consistent and better looking as we keep going. I'm starting this show called Tell Me Lies. We'll see how it goes. One more thing, I don't know if it's the yarn I'm using, but I've been noticing my hair has been getting stuck in here. So I'm gonna tie my hair back. Okay, another thing that I just want to mention, I think it might have to do with how thin this yarn is, but it does help to add a little extra strain on your yarn by holding it down here too, especially on the edges if you want to make sure that they come out clean, because sometimes if the yarn is too loose, it'll like not hook the end. So that's why you kind of have to keep an eye on it. The hair is still in here. Okay, well, my camera is about to die. Look how long it is already, and I've been doing this for like 10 minutes. It's just crazy how you can do this. Like, I feel like I'm never gonna knit normally again. Okay, guys, so we're actually already to the end of my yarn. So once you have just a little bit left, I believe this is how you end it off. You're gonna take this out of here and then still go through the other way, and this kind of just makes it easier for you to cast off. Now that we are here, you're gonna take your needle and just thread it through. It's so hard to do with this type of yarn. You're just going to pull each and every one of these off. And once you have it all off, you're just going to thread that yarn through and it should be secured and you've cast it off. Here is my finished scarf. Hopefully you can see it a little bit closer. For the most part, it looks pretty good. There's just some parts like at the end where I had to stitch up. There's like bigger holes. Other than that, I feel like I got the hang of it. So cute. Now my mom and I have matching scarves. So I'm gonna go deliver this to her. One I made is a bit thicker too, but this is a comparison of the knits. You can tell that the one I made the knit a lot tighter. Let's go give the scarf to my mom and see what she thinks. I think she's making spaghetti right now.
What?
Ta-da!
Already?
For you!
Oh. It only took you how long?
I think it took me like maybe 40 minutes altogether.
Really? 40?
They just whined
for 40 minutes.
Yay! Very cute. I'm so excited to get started on my sweater. I'm just gonna do a very basic looking sweater, so it's just gonna be 2 tubes and then 2 big squares, and I'm gonna like crochet, slip stitch, sew something. I'll figure it out, them all together to form a like very thin knit sweater. I will be using this rainbow yarn. I'm gonna start off with the arm sleeve, so it's the exact same thing. You're just gonna switch this to tube. My goal for today was to be able to make at least one of these tops. The scarf, already checked off the scarf, and then I want to make like an oversized like maybe vest or something with the blue yarn. I made one complete sleeve. They're a lot wider than I thought they would be, which is actually not a huge problem. I was going for more of like a tight fit long sleeve, but I guess I'm going for like a bit of an oversized crop sweater now. Sleeve, for reference, this was 100 rows. It's been about an hour and a half, an hour and 40 minutes. Weird angle, but I finished my second sleeve, so I'm just going to cast off. And I do this by measuring kind of the length I will be needing. I'll cut it and then I take it out of this guide part and do a full another round. I take my hook. I'm gonna go through each hole and put it through this instead. I have my 2 sleeves right here. Honestly, this wasn't really the rainbow I was going for, but we're just gonna work with it. I'm gonna get on to making the body. Little update, we finished all 4 of the pieces. This is what all of the pieces look like. These are the tops. They definitely stretch out, and I'm just gonna like leave a little hole for the neck, and then we're gonna stitch along here for both of the sleeves. We had a little outfit change because we want to be comfy while we knit. A good amount of time later, and we have finished the sweater. This is what she's looking like. It honestly came out pretty different than I was imagining. Let's try it on. So this is her. We have a lot of thoughts on this. Firstly, very short. It's hard for me to tell, I realized, because it stretches out so much, but it also curls. So I don't know like what length to make it. Another thing, the color of the yarn and the type of yarn. This one's totally on me. I didn't really look up what type of yarn I should use. I kind of just like thought, oh, rainbow. But you definitely need more of a gradient yarn, just not like rainbow, or else it'll turn out a little more like patches of color like this rather than a whole gradient on your top, which when I think about it now, it's a little more self-explanatory. Why did I not think of that earlier? But either way, I still like this. It isn't really the shape I was going for either. I think I was imagining more of a thin long sleeve, but just the type of yarn I use too is a little bit thicker. But I love the big sleeves. This is an entire all the way around, and I thought it was gonna be way too wide. While I didn't put much thought into it, this second spool of yarn does look a little bit more like a gradient, so I'm hoping it might come out a little different. This is not what I'm making, but setting up good expectations. I'm going to talk you through what I have in mind for my next design. Based on what I learned from the first one, I think I'm gonna try to make something that has more of a ribbing to see if it stops the ends from curling. Thinking of making like an oversized vest, but since the width of the biggest panel you can make is still not very wide or like wide enough for it to be super oversized, I think I'm gonna make a couple panels and connect them. Funny angle. I still get hair caught in here and I don't know why. Yeah, I have this little hole. It's from the very beginning. So if I wanted to fix this, I would have had to like completely start over. I'm just gonna take the crochet hook that came with it. I take it in the last stitch that is loose. And then I just like continue to, I guess, like crochet, like pull these stitches through, which can sometimes get a little bit like confusing. But in my head, the goal is just like, I don't want my whole piece to unravel. So as long as I fix that, like you could just tie it in a knot, honestly. So now this is like the loose end that needs to be tied. So you could just like tie this in a knot. Probably a better way to do this. This is what it looks like. It has a pretty distinct stripe. Finish all 4 of my panels. Actually didn't take that long. It's a learning curve, like you get faster. I've just been like crocheting all of them together. Actually, that's a lie, I've only done one so far. Pretty wide now, and I want it to look kind of like mismatched. I'm just gonna do this to the other one too, so that it looks like there's 2 bigger panels, and then I'm gonna put those together. By the way, I'm just doing that with like the single crochet, so like it looks messy. It's intentional though. I have my 2 wider panels stitched together. What I'm gonna do now is stitch right here, leaving a hole for the neck, and then down here and down here, leaving holes for the arms, and then we're gonna add our ribbing around the entire thing. Finished making the collar. Coming together. I do need to do the lining on all of the bottom, which I think will be like the long part, but I want to try this on real quick. Okay, honestly guys, I'm really happy I tried this on because I think I need to make some changes. I think I'm actually gonna turn this into a sweater because like I made the sleeves way too long. Like I don't know why. I thought the boxy thing was gonna be cute, but now it just like looks kind of funky. I think I'm just gonna make some really big wide sleeves that I can stitch on, and I still want to do the same thing I had planned for the bottom. Good news, I like how the collar came out. I like the color way of this. I think it's really unique. Problem though, I do need to get more yarn. So I unfortunately will not be able to finish this tonight. So I think I'm gonna end the video here, but I will add some clips of how the finished thing turns out. Thank you guys so much for coming along with me on this very long day and very long crochet. Why do I say crochet? Very long journey learning how to use this knitting machine. I am so happy that I got the hang of it, and I can't wait to make so many more things. If you have any suggestions or any video requests for what to do with knitting or crocheting or this machine, make sure to let me know. But other than that, thank you guys so much for keeping me company. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next video.